Good morning, everybody. I'm Strobe Talbot, and it is my great pleasure and honor to welcome you here today for what I think is going to be a particularly timely and meaningful discussion that is going to involve all of you. We have a terrific group of speakers and panelists, but we also have a very good audience, both here and connecting by means of technology, and I'll come to that point in a moment. As you all came in out of the rain, I assume it's still coming down a little bit out there, you came past a bookstore on your way into the Falk Auditorium here at Brookings. And that is significant. We do books at Brookings. We're in the Zuckerberg era, but we're also in the Gutenberg era. And we are here today to talk about a book by two of my colleagues, Elizabeth Kneebone and Alan Berube. The book has a title which for some of us, and I would put myself in this category up until the point that I learned about the work that Elizabeth and Alan have been doing, it has a little bit the quality of a head snapper or even a bit of a oxymoron, Confronting Suburban Poverty in America. And I'll personalize this point by saying that I'm of a certain age and of a certain geographical background. I grew up in the eastern suburbs of Cleveland, Ohio, including in the 60s when the Huff area of Cleveland, Ohio was in flames, literally in flames. And of course, that was a time when we tended to associate, almost as part of the American dream, accompanied by something of an American nightmare, of course, the suburbs were where you found prosperity and the good life. Now, as I think all of you, because this is a very sophisticated audience, knows, more poor people live in the suburbs now in America than in the inner cities. And unfortunately, policy has not yet caught up with that reality. Policy is still, as it were, harnessed to a bygone era. And what Elizabeth and Alan have done is they have come up with a set of prescriptions, good ideas, pragmatic ideas, bold ideas, on how to bring policy into line with this new reality. Now, this project owes a great deal to a long-standing relationship between the Brookings Institution and the Ford Foundation. For the past 4 years, Ford has supported our Metropolitan Policy Program, where both Elizabeth and Alan are key colleagues, in a series that we call the Metropolitan Opportunity Series, which has brought out a number of very, very useful, high-impact reports and recommendations. And those, I think it's fair to say, have created some of the groundwork for the book that we're going to be talking about today. Now, more generally, the relationship between Brookings and the Ford Foundation goes back a very long time. We owe our existence, of course, to Robert S. Brookings back in 1916. But decades ago, Ford became an absolutely crucial and transformative supporter of this institution and its work over the decades. We are, therefore, particularly honored to have the president of the Ford Foundation, Louise, here with us, and he will be the next person to address you. He's been a friend of this institution and a friend of many of us here, notably including myself, for the last number of years. I have learned a lot from him. I even learned a little bit from you, Louise, this morning, in kind of a sidebar conversation we had on the larger question of which today's topic is a part, which is how we govern our communities at every level, from the local to the urban, to the suburban, to the national, and indeed to the global level. And Louise, at the helm of the Ford Foundation, has engaged one of the world's great philanthropies in how to improve governance at all of those levels, notably including, I might add, the global level. And here I'm thinking about the good work that he and his colleagues have done on what I think is perhaps the defining and existential challenge of our time, which is climate change. So I'm going to turn the program over to him, but first I want to go back to modernity, and this is something I'm still getting used to. It's not just us in this room, folks. This is a webcast program here this morning. So when we get to the discussion, and please wait to ask a question or make a point, preferably ask a question, until a microphone comes to you, because we're going to be webcasting the entire program, and keep in mind that we want to include the people who are following it in that way. And then, of course, I know it's not Mr. Zuckerberg's company, but Twitter is also part of our way of communicating the proceedings today. Usually, back in the old days, I would ask, when I was introducing a distinguished speaker like Louise, to ask everybody to please turn off your mobiles, and you should turn them on to either vibrate or silent, but do keep them on if you intend to tweet the proceedings. I'm told that the hashtag is #SuburbanPoverty, one word. So with that, Louise is a pro at this. He'll probably be tweeting even as he addresses you now. So the microphone is yours, Louise.